Men, just like any human being, want their feelings validated.
It's always easier for anyone to respond in a less defensive way when the way that you're talking about what happened is your own experience. Because it's someone can't really defend your own experience. I am helping her work through her issues and there's never space for me. And I get that. But at the same time, as a man, a lot of things that you do have to suck up as a man. That's just how it is. And even though it seems unequal, it's not supposed to be equal in that way, right? Obviously, you need some level of support. You want a woman to support you and to care about you and to show that she cares about you. Mm-hmm. But it's never going to be the same. How men can share their emotions to less trigger the defensiveness and to where women will be more likely to empathize with them. And I think there's a concept I invented called subtracting from the positive. Mm-hmm. And so if you present the way that you feel as a subtraction from the positive instead of a negative. So a negative would be, I'm really upset with you. I'm really angry with you. I'm really disappointed in you. I'm really sad. Mm-hmm. Those are negative. Instead, and those usually garner defensiveness because remember, women are fragile. They're delicate. Mm-hmm. That is a direct, even though it's not meant to be a direct attack, it is perceived as a direct attack because you upset me. You are making me feel bad feelings. Mm-hmm. So you must have done something wrong. And again, that whole, if I continue to make him feel bad feelings, then he's not going to like me anymore. So I have to prove to him that I'm not making him feel the bad feelings. It's something else.
And that I'm not bad. I didn't do anything wrong.
So the subtraction from the positive looks like, I feel less important to you because I'm not as happy with our relationship as I could be because, right? So you're taking a positive emotion and you're showing a subtraction from it. Mm-hmm. Here's why, and that, might seem like it's just a little bit of a play on words, but I feel like it comes across less of an attack because everyone wants their partner to have happy, positive emotions, to be at the best that they could be. Mm-hmm. And so then they're more likely to think, well, what am I doing that's detracting from the maximum happiness as opposed to I'm the perpetrator of a crime that, it seems hopeless if someone's upset or mad at you. Mm-hmm. But if they're like, I'm not feeling as loved as I'd like to feel because of these things. That feels hopeful. Oh, so they still could be, right? I just need to, address these issues. So that's one way I think to bring it. And then like you said, obviously you need to talk about it in a way that you're being careful with the words, not using the always, never, trying to avoid you.
Right.
It's always easier for anyone to respond in a less defensive way when the way that you're talking about what happened is your own experience. Because it's someone can't really defend your own experience. That's why also kind of dovetailing into this, I tell guys to say, I want this, I like this, I don't like this, I don't want this, right? It's almost like a toddler, right? It's like, want, because it's hard to argue with what someone likes or wants. Mm-hmm. It's hard to argue what someone says they don't like or don't want. If someone says, I don't like this, how can you defend against that? They're telling you what they don't like. They're not saying that you did something wrong. They're just saying that I don't like it. Right. Or I do like this. I do want this. So it tends to make it so that someone's going to be less defensive, and then now you can communicate your point. And again, a lot of the times where guys get butt hurt, and I have gone through this myself, I've done the same song and dance, is not being direct and dropping hints and expecting that the woman, and then when you're dropping hints and then nothing's happening because you haven't asked directly what you want, you start to boil over, you're getting upset, you're like making a list, and you're like, doesn't care about me, or it's like still doesn't care about me, right? As opposed to if you say, I want you to do this, I would like this, right? Then you don't get into that mode. So
yeah, I mean, I feel like you hit on a lot of the points. I can't think of anything to add to that at the moment.
And I would also say what to share. We talked about this a little bit, but to come back to that also is you don't want to share as a man the things that are negative and that display weakness. Those you share with your buddies. Those you share with you should have a good group of men that you talk to, or so at least some confidence that you talk to. Instead, you share the relationship issues that you need to work on, or things that if your woman has done something that harmed you, you share that issue as opposed to your general upset crying about everything in life. That's not you can't really expect a woman to care about all the
little things.
Yeah. I think that, I mean, she cares, but you can't expect that kind of response.
It's overwhelming because she cares about all the little things going on in her life, her husband's life, like the ones that she knows about, right? And her kid's life.
Yeah.
So, if you start adding more little things, then now that's just more that she cares about. Like, you don't think that she cares about you, but she does.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if men looked, they'd see other ways that women show them that they care. But men, just like any human being, want their feelings validated. So it doesn't matter if she does little things for you. And it doesn't even matter if she initiates sex or whatever. I genuinely feel like if a man or woman's feelings aren't validated, it's not sustainable. No matter if he's romancing you, but he's not validating your feelings, if she's sleeping with you, but she's not validating your feelings, like you said, you want to feel understood by your partner and you want to feel like they care about your feelings.
Yeah. And I think, a lot of guys complain. They always say, I do all these things for her. I'm always there for her. I am helping her work through her issues, and there's never space for me. And I get that. But at the same time, as a man, a lot of things that you do have to suck up as a man. That's just how it is. And even though it seems unequal, it's not supposed to be equal in that way, right? Obviously, you need some level of support. You want a woman to support you and to care about you and to show that she cares about you. But it's never going to be the same. You're not going to be a woman.
Right.
She's going to cry on your shoulder. You're not going to cry on her shoulder. I mean, sure, something really traumatic in your life happens. That's a different story. But in general, don't try and make it equal, because it's not going to. You have to still be the man. You still have to suck it up at the end of the day and be the strong one. But yeah, and sometimes it can feel like because you're strong, people take advantage of you and they feel like you don't have any emotions or any feelings because you're strong. And that's not true. And that's tragic when that happens. It's just you have to understand that that's going to be a majority. And that's also why women don't have as much practice. So you kind of have to, again, as a man, as a leader, you have to treat a woman that you're in a relationship with as you're helping guide and lead her. And so maybe she doesn't have the skills of handling your emotions. And so you don't need to get upset at her because she doesn't have those skills, but you could be patient and help her develop those skills by clearly communicating, by being vulnerable, by saying, when I come to you with something and you respond this way, it does affect me. It does make me not feel as important, right? Those type of things. And if you handle it that way, then you're going to move more in that direction. But it's never going to be the same. That's the thing I think that men have to realize. And it's okay. It doesn't have to be. That's why you are the man.